Hey everyone, let's just jump right into it. Today's explainer is a deep dive into an incredibly powerful traditional Tamil chant dedicated to Arunachala Shiva. Now, it's super easy to look at ancient chants and think, oh, it's just a simple song of praise. But honestly, if you really break down the lyrics, it's a completely mind-blowing roadmap of human psychology and spiritual awakening. We're going to trace the singer's steps from feeling totally separate from the divine, all the way to realizing they're literally one with the universe.
We kick things off with this beautiful, serene invocation, Om Shri Arunachalaswaraya Namaha. To really get this journey, we have to understand exactly where the singer is starting. Right off the bat, this line sets a clear boundary. The singer is bowing down to the divine. So there's a me doing the bowing, and a you, the divine, receiving it. It's classic duality. But stick with me, because what we're unpacking today is how this chant magically progresses from this very dualistic worship straight into the ultimate oneness hidden in the later verses.
So here's the path we're walking today. First, the call for grace. Then, the magnet and iron. After that, the path of the saints. And finally, realizing non-duality. Think of this less as a standard agenda and more as the literal stages of the spiritual evolution we're about to explore. All right, stage 1, the call for grace, the seeker's initial plea. Just look at what the seeker is actually asking for right out of the gate. They want to attain this supreme high state. They're asking for supreme divinity to spread everywhere. And they want to be ruled and filled by divine grace. Pay attention to those verbs, right? To attain, to be ruled, to be filled. It's like the seeker views themselves as an empty cup, just waiting for a divine refill. The power dynamic is crystal clear here. The divine holds all the grace, and the human is the one begging for a drop. And then we get this line. You called me, blessed me, rule over me. Boom. Absolute separation. You called me. Now, there's a lot of comfort in this stage, honestly. It's kind of like being a kid and just letting your parents drive the car. You're happily handing over the keys. The seeker is entirely surrendering their agency, trusting this higher power to pull the strings. But as we keep moving through the lyrics, the emotional intensity of this dynamic is going to shift in a massive way. Which brings us to stage 2, the magnet and iron, the irresistible pull. The phrase here, Irumbai Kantam Irupada Pull, sets up this incredible metaphor for the effortless, irresistible pull of the divine. It compares the divine to a giant magnet and the human soul to a little piece of iron. Just think about how a magnet works for a second. When iron gets close to a magnetic field, it doesn't decide to move, it doesn't break a sweat, it just gets drawn in. The lyrics are essentially saying that once your spiritual journey kicks off, it's not about you striving and struggling, it's the divine effortlessly pulling you inward. Thinking of you, the heart sweetens and melts. Melting is the absolutely crucial word here. Because what happens when something melts? It completely loses its rigid shape. Picture a stick of butter hitting a hot skillet. The hard boundaries of the ego, all those strict definitions of who the seeker thought they were, they're dissolving under the heat of this intense devotion. The iron is quite literally losing its edge the closer it gets to the magnet. You can literally hear the utter bewilderment in the singer's voice here. What is this magic? I don't know how to say. It's like the intellect has just totally tapped out. The logical brain cannot compute how the ego is dissolving. The seeker is basically throwing their hands up like, I have no idea what's happening to me, but you know the truth, so I'm just going to trust it. And honestly, giving up that intellectual control is a total prerequisite for the massive leap we're about to take. So let's move into section 3, the path of the saints, grounding in tradition. Here, the chant explicitly calls out sage Ramana Maharshi and Seshadri Swamigal. And this is vital because these guys weren't some abstract mythological figures. They were real, historical human beings who lived right at the foot of Mount Arunachala, and they're documented as having reached these pinnacle states of realization. By dropping their names, the chant is giving us a reality check. This isn't just pretty poetry. This is an actual walkable path that real people have taken all the way to the finish line. Then we get this brilliant psychological pivot. Accept and grace me into that state too. Am I not them? This is such a cool moment. The seeker looks at these enlightened masters and realizes, wait a second, they were human, I'm human. That ultimate potential they unlocked, it's got to be inside me too. It's this powerful moment of claiming your own spiritual birthright. And that realization, it kicks the door wide open to the ultimate truth. All right, section 4. Realizing non-duality, the ultimate truth. This brings us right to the core of Advaita, or non-duality. It's the profound realization that the whole idea of separation between you and the rest of existence, it's just an illusion. There is no you over here and the universe over there. There is only the universe, and it's expressing itself as you. Once you really wrap your head around that, the next shift in these lyrics is just absolute dynamite. Look at how drastically the language changes now. The singer isn't begging a distant god for favors anymore. They are boldly declaring, "You are this form. You are this life." They realize the divine isn't hanging out in the clouds. It's the actual fabric of reality. And the logic they use next is just perfect. If what exists is only you, what fear is there? I mean, think about it. If everything is the divine, there's literally nothing outside of it to be scared of. Fear needs separation. It needs a me to be afraid of a that. No separation? Poof, the fear completely evaporates. Let's just pause and sit with this quote. I am you are me, there is no difference between us. The iron hasn't just touched the magnet anymore. They are totally, inseparably fused. That ego that started out so defined and separate, it has melted all the way down into the pure, absolute truth of non-duality. We have officially completed the journey from, hey, please give me some grace, to, oh wow, I am made of the exact same stuff as the grace itself. Which brings us to our final section, conclusion, the final surrender. As we wrap up, the chant grounds us again, reminding us that this divine energy isn't just some super dense philosophical theory. It's alive. It dances as dear life right now in every breath you take. It rules as the universe on a massive cosmic scale. And my favorite part? This immense light shines in the heart of the simpleton. You don't need a PhD in philosophy to feel this. This ultimate truth is fully accessible to the simplest, most humble heart. The whole thing closes out with Guruve Saranam, which means surrendering to the Guru, or the inner guiding light. But because we've just been on this journey into non-duality, we know this isn't about submitting to some external authority figure. It's the ego's ultimate surrender to its own true, infinite nature. It's literally the wave finally realizing it was the ocean all along and just peacefully settling back into the water. You know, we spend so much of our day-to-day lives hyper-focused on how we're different from everyone and everything around us. But if this ancient chant teaches us anything, it's that beneath all of that noise and division, there is this irresistible magnetic pull trying to remind us of our fundamental oneness. So I want to leave you with this. In a world that is so aggressively built on separation, how can you recognize that magnet pulling you toward your own inner unity? Think on that.
ஓம் ஸ்ரீ அருணாச்சலேஸ்வராய நமः. மேலாம் உயர்நிலை தன்னில் நிலை பெற வரம் தருவாய் ஸ்ரீ அருணாச்சலா. மேலாம் தெய்வீகம் எங்கும் பரவிட விரும்பிடுவாய் நீ அருணாச்சலா. என்னை அழைத்தனை ஆசியளித்தனை ஆண்டு கொள்வாய் என்னை அருணாச்சலா. உன்னருள் என்னில் முழுதாய் நிறைந்திட விரும்பிடுவாய் நீ அருணாச்சலா. இருக்கும் இடத்தினில் இதனை இழுத்திட வரம் தருவாய் நீ அருணாச்சலா. இரும்பை காந்தம் இழுப்பது போல் என்னை ஈர்த்திடுவாய் ஸ்ரீ அருணாச்சலா. உன்னை நினைக்கையில் உள்ளம் இனிக்குதே, உருகி தவிக்குதே அருணாச்சலா. என்னை இது மாயம் சொல்ல தெரியவில்லை, உண்மை நீ அறிவாயே அருணாச்சலா. உண்மை நீ அறிவாயே அருணாச்சலா. நீதான் இவ்வுரு நீதான் இவ்வுயிர், என்னுள் நீதான் இருக்கின்றாய் அருணாச்சலா. இருப்பது நீ என்றால் எனக்கினி ஏது பயம், இருந்திடு சுகமாய் அருணாச்சலா. நான் என்பதும் நீயே, நீ என்பது நானே, நமக்கினி பேதமில்லை அருணாச்சலா. பேதையின் உள்ளத்தில் ஒளி விளக்காய் நின்று ஒளிர்ந்திடுவாய் ஸ்ரீ அருணாச்சலா. ரமண முனிவரையும் சேஷாத்ரிநாதரையும் ரமிக்க வைத்தாய் உன்னில் அருணாச்சலா. என்னையும் அந்நிலையில் ஏற்று அருளிடுவாய், நானும் அவர்தானே சொல் அருணாச்சலா. தன்னிலை தன்னில் தான் இருந்திடவே தயை புரிவாய் ஸ்ரீ அருணாச்சலா. உன்னருள் என்னில் முழுதாய் நிறைந்திட அருள் புரிவாய் ஸ்ரீ அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சலா ஆருயிராய் நின்றாடும் அருணாச்சலா 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 அகிலமாய் நின்றாளும் அருணாச்சலா அகிலமாய் நின்று ஆளும் அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா குருவே சரணம்.